Buongiorno, everybody. It's I'm actually closer to on time than I have been lately. Only 10 minutes after, so my live at 11ish. It's working out okay. So as I said yesterday, as I keep hitting things here on the table, all the stuff we're going to do this coming week is all geared in the direction of the holidays, so Thanksgiving or any other. And especially since, a lot of people are having smaller Thanksgivings because we have to be safe. What a perfect time to practice having dinners and company, Sunday dinners and so on at the table. And, I'm moving this because I keep hitting it. But also perfect time to try some new recipes because, we tend to fall back on the same recipes every year, and we love that because that's tradition. But how about taking some of them and tweaking them a little bit? And like, for example, what we're going to do today is a nut tart. So a lot of people love pecan pie, but pecan pie is I love it, but it is so almost sickeningly sweet. And, you get this thick piece of pie with all this sugary goodness. But still, how about having maybe 3 desserts instead of 1 or 2? And try some things that aren't quite as killing to your sugarness. And, don't you love all my words? Your sugarness. So I think I'm taking a favorite cookie of mine that my grandmother used to make. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn it into a larger tart. Like a pie kind of size tart. But it's only this thick. And I think that it's going to be nice because you can enjoy a piece of this and a piece of apple pie, because I love apple pie. But you're not going to feel overly full, but you're still getting all the same flavors. So I think you're going to really like this. So the first thing we're doing is we're going to get our filling started, and then because that way it'll cool off by the time we have to spread it around. And then we're going to make our little crust. Normally, when you make this crust, you want to refrigerate it for an hour or 2. Comes out a little better. But, we're going to do it anyway, just because this is not TV. And I'm doing this live, and so I want to do it in front of you. And honestly, I'm not a big TV production, so, for me to make everything ahead of time and then have it ready to pull out of the made-for-TV oven, doesn't always work. So we're just going to do it anyway. But I can tell you, even if you do it wrong, it still comes out right. So what we've got here in my pan is 4 ounces, which is half a stick, which is 55, 60 grams of butter, melted. Okay, so what we're adding to this now, I'm just going to share something with you really quickly here that I've got in front of me. This is my grandmother's recipe in her handwriting for her, what she called pecan tarts. Now, we're using walnuts because that's what I have. And actually, she did a lot too, but she loved pecans. But anyway, and I have my little recipe holder thing here. You know what this thing is? This is pretty cool. I'm going to share it with you. It's just this magnetic thing. It was some office thing that had these little cups on it. It was so stupid. But anyway, I've turned it into a recipe holder. I've got my magnetic thing. You can either magnetize, or this is actually a magnetic clip. And I just put my recipe up here so I don't have to touch Norma's recipe and get it all yucky here on the counter. So I can keep track of making sure I do it right. I can have it just close enough to me that I can just read it with my glasses. So anyway, so we are going to take this butter that I've already got in here, and we're going to add 1.5 cups. Whoops, I forgot to get my measuring cups out. Hold on. Let's see. Here's a 1/2 cup measure. So we are putting, whoops, I got the wrong side here. Okay. We have 1 cup of brown sugar. So that's going to be 2 of these. So 1. That's 1 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of white sugar. Okay, got that mixed in there. Give me a spoon. Get that all in there. Seems like a lot of sugar for the amount of butter, but we are gonna add some eggs to this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this together with the eggs and then the nuts. And I've actually turned the heat off on this. And we're just mixing. Actually, I'm gonna do this here so you can see me. Uh-oh, I got a piece of shell in there and didn't even realize it. Ta-da! And that sugar sticking to the bottom. Awesome. Okay. And now we're gonna put in 2 cups of nuts. So, I don't think I have 2 cups here. We're gonna chop a few more. That's half, that's 1, that's 1.5. And I'm gonna show you, well, you all know my favorite tool, my wonderful chopper, my Pampered Chef chopper. So I take my walnuts, I just put them here on my butcher block, and I'm going to chop them. You want them kind of a fine chop. There we go. And that's probably my other half a cup that I need. Perfect. Oops, almost. Let's throw a few more in, because I don't like to skimp on the nuts. Don't skimp on the main ingredient. Okay. Oh, look at that. And now it's a nice overflowing cup of half a cup. And when it's not, the other half a cup goes in. Let's stir it all up. And we're gonna add just a little dash of vanilla. Just a little splash. So I'm just gonna put like a little capful here. This is a really nice bourbon vanilla from Trader Joe's because I love them. Oh, yes. So now we have this nice filling, see? It's this really yummy, nutty, buttery, yumness. Okay, put that aside for a minute. Let's take these things and put them aside. So I have a nice bowl here. So now what I need is 2 sticks of butter, same thing. So we've got 2 sticks of butter is 100 and... One of these days I'm gonna memorize this stuff or have it on a big board behind the camera. Let's see. It is, doesn't say. Oh, yeah, I was right, 113 grams. So a stick of butter, so it's 113, so that's 226. And the same thing is 8 ounces, which is also 8 ounces of cream cheese. So half and half. This is like 2 sticks of butter equal to 2 sticks of butter. Only thing I didn't get out was the flour, the all-important flour for the crust. Okay, so this is a very simple crust. It is just 8 ounces of cream cheese. Now I've set these out for a little bit to soften, but what I like to do is kind of still chop them up in pieces. So I kind of just quarter them. They're soft-ish. They're just nice and sticky now. They want to stick to my chopper. And really, truly, there's nothing better to chop butter with than one of these. Because a knife it sticks to so much more. So I just cut them into, in half and then in half. And then I just do. Then I end up with little teeny chunks. And I don't know if I can, this is actually kind of soft, very soft. So it's really kind of, not really a major point in doing this, but there we go. Okay, take these 2, set them over there. And now we're going to put in 2 cups of flour. So, is that right? It sure is. So that is 1/2. Oops, I'm making a mess. And that's 1, 1.5, and 2. Okay. Now we have the fun of just, you know what I like to do first? So I like to just kind of get the flour around all the pieces. So that way they're not, you know, sticking to me. And then I just start to squeeze it. It's so fun. And since it's room temp, the butter's a little harder than the cream cheese. That's okay. So we're just gonna put this all together. Now, I used unsalted butter. I would normally use salted, but right now I have a refrigerator full of unsalted. So I'm going to put just 1 pinch of salt in here. If you're using, wait a minute. If you're using salted butter, don't add any salt. But if you're using unsalted butter, just a pinch. Should have used a bigger bowl, just saying, but this is okay. Now you can turn this out on a board if you want. This is kind of a soft dough, and because today I'm not having this dough made and then chilled, we're gonna do this in a makeshift way. Let's see how the dough comes out first. I made a kind of a mistake. I didn't switch my cutting board to my baking cutting board. And this is the one I chopped garlic on. So I'm not gonna put the dough out on it, even though I wash it well. You know what? I have to do this the right way. Really does make a difference because this one doesn't smell like garlic, you know? And it gives me more room. There we go. Okay. Ta-da! That's way more fun. Now that I've got this, I can knead. Plus this one has the lip on it, so it doesn't, when I lean on it, it doesn't go push, it doesn't push away from me. Okay. Just put all this together. Now you don't want to over knead it. You really just want to get it to the point where it's just mixed, where all the flour is in, but you don't want to overdo it. So then your dough gets oh, that was just a little chunk of sugar. I'm like, what is this hard thing in here? It was a little piece of sugar that was put together. Okay. So now this is almost us. Now I'm just going to go around and kind of collect up all the crumbs on the board. Or I can do this. Y'all would laugh right now. Louis knows I'm baking. He's down here licking up little pieces of flour, whatever might be. Watch. Boop. It's butter. He likes it. Oh, look at him. He's so happy. Go to bed. Go lay down. Good boy. Okay. So this is a really nice dough. It's not going to be that kind of smooth, stretchy kind because it's very, very moist. Because it's got all that cream cheese and butter in here. Now normally this would go in the fridge for a little while, but we're going to just fake it, hold tight. We're going to get a piece of wax paper. Now I'm going to see how it rolls because it may or may not roll very well because it's so not very dry. Let's do this. When it is refrigerated, it gets a little firmer, a little drier, and much easier to roll out. But this kind of dough, you can also do it not rolling it, because you really kind of, you can just push this into your pan. I'll show you what I mean. Now this is such a yummy crust. You don't want to make it too thin because it really tastes good. This is rolling kind of nice, and it definitely rolls better. I've done it. Definitely rolls better when it's refrigerated. Okay, we're going to take this. So now we've got this on the wax paper. We're just going to take it, put it on the pan here, or in the tart pan dish, whatever the heck you want to call it. I'm in a mood today, right? And then we're just going to very nicely, get it into the corners here, get it all the way around. This one doesn't stretch. It's not yeasty or anything like that, so it just stays nice. This little. So I'm just going to get my little paring knife here and just kind of trim the edges. And then I can take this, and there's one little spot there I can fix. And that's pretty much it. There's only one little spot in my dough. So I'm just going to make sure this is nice and spread out. Put a couple little holes in the bottom. You can do it with a fork, but since I have a knife handy, I'll do it with the knife, so it doesn't poof up too much. Now, we're very simply going to take this lovely filling, move my sugar over, and we're going to spread this. Let me get something that'll spread better. Me and all my fun tools, I love my offset knife because it just really spreads nice. It's an icing knife or whatever. You really want this to be, a thin layer. So literally a 1/4 of an inch or so, not even half an inch. You're just spreading this around. The egg in the dough, in the filling, helps it poof up a layer. We can put a little more. Okay, so we've got this nice thin, you can see how much crust is still at the side? So it's a nice thin, it's really, well, that's what I get for trying to be good on TV. Hold on, little fix job here. Oh well, I'm trying to show you. All right, well, that's good. Now I get to lick my fingers in a second. Well, anyway, I fixed it. It just flopped over there real quick, but I got it. Stretched it out. There we go. Okay, let me fix my little hole there. Okay, well, one more time. Okay, so we're eating this today anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It's not for Thanksgiving, but here you go. I'm not tilting it anymore. I'm going to stick this in the oven. Now, if you want to make this, it's going to come out really pretty anyway because it's going to kind of bubble up and make a nice little kind of crust on top. But we could do something fun like, wait a minute, let me wash my hands because, I had to flip it out. Can you believe that stuff? So if you have something that'd be really cute, if you have like some Thanksgiving cookie cutters, you can cut out like a little turkey or a little, I guess you can't cut out a nut. That wouldn't be a really shape. But anyway, or you can do a little crisscross, cross hatch there. Let's see if we can put a little something on top just for fun. Can't believe I flipped that thing out of the, okay. But you know what? That's life. Sometimes life flips you upside down. All right. So we can, put something pretty on top. I'm going to just put something, y'all want to see something fun? These are my tins of cookie cutters. And I'm going to show you something fun really quick. This was my grandmother's. She had a whole bunch of these. They were cookie tins from the department store she worked at called Landsberg's back in the I don't know, 50s, 60s, 70s. She worked in gift wrap. But she had all these cookie tins, and these tins are what she used to fill up. She had like, I don't know, 6 or 8 of them. And this is what she used to fill with all her homemade cookies. So now I keep them for my cookie cutters. I have one. My mom has one. So let's see if I have a Thanksgiving. I've got pumpkins. I've got a bird. That's kind of like a turkey. Actually, I think that is a turkey. Let's see. Oh, there's another one. That's a turkey. Woohoo! But you know, it's not Thanksgiving yet. So maybe today, next week, I'm going to use one of the turkeys. Those are really cute. I'll put a piece of here, but today I'm going to just put a heart because this is for me and Pat. Ta-da! So I just put a heart in the middle. I'm going to stick this in the oven. Now, usually I make the same recipe in these little tart cups. So all you do to make these really easy, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to make a mini one. But these disappear way too fast. So does that, but it looks nicer for Thanksgiving. You just put a little ball in, the thing here, and then you just spread it around until it's got a little cup. That's all. See how that is? And then you just put your one little half a teaspoon of filling because it poofs up and it's very flavorful. But think about this. If you're going to do this for Thanksgiving, make the big tart. You can have a nice thin piece. It's reminiscent, similar flavors to a pecan pie, but it's not so big, so you can enjoy this flavor, enjoy another dessert, and don't forget the cannoli, because you got to have cannoli at Thanksgiving in an Italian house. And that way you can kind of have the same thing, but not quite so decadent, so that you can enjoy a couple different things. And this is the perfect time to prepare to then learn how to make these little ones. And these are a great addition to your cookie tray at Christmas time. So I'm just going to do one tray of these right now because I have enough filling to probably do. I have like 2 of the big, 24 ones. I probably can make 60 of these at a time. So I just make all these little balls and fill the thing, and then I usually do the little balls first. But I really encourage you to try something like this new and similar, a little Italianized, We like to do these things with nuts. You can do this with, you can use, instead of cream cheese, you can use some mascarpone instead. Comes out fantastic. In fact, the same if not better, because, mascarpone makes everything better. But I happen to have this cream cheese I wanted to use up, so that's why I'm using it. So you can use cream cheese, or in Italy, you know what they call it, cream cheese in Italy? They call it Philadelphia. Because Philadelphia is the only brand of cream cheese that they have over there. So they call it by its brand name as opposed to, some other kind of cheese. So that's pretty funny. Because I don't know if this is actually a cheese or not, I guess in a way it is. So I'm just smushing the little, all I'm doing is smushing the little ball down the middle, fingerprint, and then just, push it around to the edges. It's easier doing it down, so I showed you. Fingerprint in the middle, and then just push the little ball to the edges. And you know what? They don't have to be perfect. And in fact, they're better when they're not perfect, because they just, I don't know, they just look cute and homemade, and the way my nonna made them. This was her recipe. Okay, so now I've got my little things, and I'm going to get, this is cooled off now, so I can just put a little teeny, oh, that one fell right into a spot perfectly. Look at that, oh, that's way too much. These really, if you overfill them, you're literally just putting a little dab in each one, a half a teaspoon. You can do it with your fingers, you can do it with a spoon, I'm doing it with my fingers because my fingers are already in it. So a little teeny pinch in each one. And like I said, they really poof up, so you know, you don't need much. And it's just a beautiful little bite of yum, of yumness. So, and also, I mean, the only sugar is in the filling. You really don't need much of it. So it doesn't need to be, you know, they're not sickeningly sweet. Okay. So I'm going to stick these in there too. As soon as I lick my fingers. Now I gotta tell you, oh darn, look at this, some filling fell. Yeah. Yep, that's gonna be good. Okay, that's all you need to know. Don't taste the filling, because you'll eat all of it before it's in the oven and out. Hold on, let me wash my hands again. I need to have a hand washing station right next to my stuff. Anyway, so this is a lot of fun. I'm going to wrap up this dough and actually put this in the fridge, and I'll make another one later. But these are really, really tasty. I think you'll really enjoy them. A nice twist on something for Thanksgiving. It's like a little flat, you know, pecan-ish type tart pie. So that nut flavor that is so good in the fall. And this crust, let me tell you, it's like so yummy. And it poofs up a little bit too. Let's see how it's looking. Smells good. There's only one little hole in the original one because I dumped it over. No, I think I filled it okay. Oh my goodness. So shall we sit down and let's see if anybody has any questions about their Thanksgiving menu. Does anybody have any questions or need suggestions? Hi everybody. So let me see if I can read anything. I'm gonna pull up the laptop here and do what I like to do, you know. Awesome. And see if there's any questions. So do I make a Rosetto style stuffing of dressing? Okay, well, I don't think there is a Rosetto style dressing because, I mean, what do you call it? Stuffing. Hold on, my things aren't showing up here. Well, anyway, can't see it on there, but the stuffing is not really an Italian thing per se, the way Americans make it with turkey. I make my stuffing Italian-ish because I put Italian sausage in it. And I use Italian sausage, I use chestnuts, but I think other people use chestnuts in their stuffing as well, and all that. So it's really, you know, it's personal. Everybody I know makes stuffing different, except I think for my cousins who make it all the way my grandmother did, which was with chestnuts and apples and applesauce. She used applesauce. Look at me, I'm such a mess today. My bangs are growing out. I'm glad. I like the short, but I kind of like them better longer. Anyway, okay. No, I didn't paint the Life is Beautiful behind me. That's actually a print from an artist called Banksy, who is a famous graffiti artist. So anyway, so let's see here. If I can find, oh, here, I finally found all my things. Okay, the amount of eggs was 2 eggs, so no big deal. And I'll tell you, I'll post the recipe. Let's see here. Oh, thank you. I'm glad somebody feels like they're in my kitchen. That's Lynn. Yes, these are similar to what people call a pecan tassi. I call them Nonna's tarts because Nonna made them and I never heard of them anywhere else up until I was an adult looking up things. So that's that. But okay, so a Rosetto style stuffing. So my stuffing, actually, you know, next week when I make my stuffing, I'll probably do it live to show you, but I use Italian sausage, I use homemade breadcrumbs, I use Romano cheese, I put in little chunks of little teeny cubed up pieces of apple, and I use applesauce to bind it all together. And then of course, chopped up chestnuts that I roast myself and cut up. So that's, and celery. Gotta have some celery in there, add a little crunch. So that's my Italian-ish dressing of stuffing. I don't put it in the turkey. I usually put it in a baking dish. And what makes it really good if you want is to drizzle some of the turkey juices on top of it. And then, you know, that kind of also adds a little flavor if you make it before or if you make it after you make your turkey. I don't always, so I just kind of am fine with just the sausage and the sausage flavor. But you can do that too. Or you can do that even at the end before you serve it. So then after you've cooked your turkey and you've already, but I usually make my stuffing in a pan and I bake it separate. And then I've got all that nice crust on the top because I like the crusty, crispy edges. So that's me. I get kind of like, I don't know, I don't like putting the stuffing in the turkey. I usually put inside my turkey, I usually stuff it with either like a, you know, I cut up an onion in half or quarter it and just shove it, onions in there, some lemons or an orange. I do something that will infuse some flavor into it. I think it helps. And of course, anything that's citrus is acidic, so it makes it, you know, more tender. So that's, you know, what I usually do. My uncle is watching in Italy and he's like, I don't understand you, but I love watching you. So, non capisco. He doesn't understand. Ciao, zio. But anyway, but it's really good. And so that's it. So anybody have any more questions? Keith, maybe I'll have you come over and make sausage with us. That would be a lot of fun. If you want to show me your way, because I loved your mother and I'm sure she made good Italian sausage. So, I have made it before, not in a long time. So maybe it's time this year to do it again sometime soon. So anyway, so let's, enjoy trying some new recipes, and I'm going to bring you a few more this week. So I just really hope that everyone has a good time this holiday, even if it has to be small. Oh, look, I have somebody else watching from Italy who doesn't understand me, but ciao, Simone. This guy, Simone, is one of my favorite people. Love him. So anyway, thank you, Louisa. Love my recipe and my house. Well, that's good. I'm almost liking it, and it's oh my gosh, okay. So we're gonna take off of Thanksgiving now for a minute and holidays and baking. Although in a minute I'm gonna go check that Tart because I have a feeling I can smell it and it smells so good. So anyway, I've been having so much fun putting my house together and decorating it and buying new rugs and towels and things just to make me happy. I put aside a little bit of money to do those kind of things with because it's a new house and I want to just have a few new things. And of course, this house is different than my old one, so certain things didn't fit and I sold some stuff and bought some stuff. So little by little, I'll show you all that I'm doing. And by Thanksgiving, I'll show you my big dining room and my living room and all that stuff. So I'm really excited. All right, if you want to hold tight for 1 second, I'm going to go check on that Tart. I would bring you over, but you know what? This is quicker. See, it's a good thing I didn't take you because it's not quite ready yet. So, you know, why bring you over there and then show you it unfinished? But the filling is poofing up a little bit. It's going to be nice. I think it's going to look really pretty with a little powdered sugar sprinkled on top. They do come awesome in the little tartlets, and those are really nice because that looks pretty on a platter too. You could put them like on a pretty raised platter and stack them up and have that in place of some kind of other sweet pie, have the little teeny tartlets, and that's fun too. I've also made them in cupcake size, which is more like a piece of pie size. So if you prefer putting them in individual tartlets so that you don't have to worry about cutting and serving, then do them in a cupcake size, but keep it kind of low. Don't fill the cupcake thing all the way up. Just do it like halfway. And make it like a smaller, shallower tart, but it's easier to serve, so you can do that too. I like sharing, the ideas with you so you can make it work for you. So that's that. But anyway, all right. I think that's it for right now. I'm gonna keep this within the hour. See, I only started 10 minutes late. I'm stopping 10 minutes early, but I'm going to try, today is my day to get a couple of my recipes written, because I've kind of been a little slack on that, but I've been trying to fix my house. I'm really sorry. But, you know, as I get through these holidays, you know, this Friday is my son Carlo's birthday. So actually on Friday, we're probably going to make a cake and maybe something else. I'm not sure, but we're going to be prepping for Carlo's little party I'm having for him Friday evening with just like 3 friends. We're going to have a little fire pit in the backyard, and they can go in the hot tub and they can stay outside and be a little social distant, but it's just going to be a couple of his friends that he sees anyway and that have been in quarantine and been good and safe. So like 2 of his friends can't come because they actually went at school caught, you know, they got the virus, so they're home in quarantine. But the other 3 or 4 friends or whatever it is are coming, and that's it. So, you know, that's all we're gonna do, really simple. But I have to make him a cake, and then Saturday morning I got to make the you know, next morning. I would do it Friday morning, but he's got to work. Saturday doesn't have to work till 12, so Saturday morning we're gonna have breakfast, our birthday crepes for the birthday boy, because that's what we always have, birthday crepes, and that's that. So I have to wait and see what kind of cake he wants. I'm hoping it's chocolate, because I'm kind of in a mood for chocolate before we get into all the holiday stuff that's not really chocolate until Christmas. Actually, it's always time for chocolate. Makes me happy. Okay. So anyway, oh, there was one question here. Hold on. I just saw it. Can you freeze them? Yes, you can freeze them. I would personally freeze them, you know, cook them, fully cook them, and then freeze them. I would probably cook them. I mean, I would probably freeze them myself. I'd probably freeze them flat, like put them in a Ziploc, maybe on a cookie sheet or something, but put the Ziploc on the cookie sheet and put them, what do you call it? Flat on there, you know, and then just once they're solid, then I would bundle them up, because the filling is firmish, but it's still a little soft. So I don't know if I would freeze them plain. I'd have to see. I don't usually freeze them because they actually last pretty long if they don't get eaten fast, which they usually do. But if you want to make them ahead of time, my grandmother used to make them, put them in those tins and do 1 layer and then wax paper and then layer and wax paper, and they would last. She would make them, she'd be baking the whole month before Christmas and have all her cookies in those tins layered with wax paper, and they were always fine. So that being the case, Nonna knew. Anytime I wasn't sure if something was good or if you could do something, she always had the answer. So I hope I remember all the answers she gave me, so I'm trying to give them to you. So that's that. Yes, I will probably, actually, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the crepes this time, but I think I've done them on video before. But if not, we'll do them another day. But birthday morning, I'm going to be here with the whole family, so, and some people that he doesn't even know are going to be here. So that's that. So anyway, yeah, but I will show you how to make the crepes. I'll probably do that another day in December. But like I said, Saturday morning when I'm making them for his birthday, I probably won't do a video because that's family time, you know? So anyway, that's it for today. Go out and show some love to somebody, and invite somebody, you know, to join you doing a recipe via Zoom. You know, you can cook together. Like if we can't all be together this week, if you've got family somewhere else that can't come visit, or you can't go there or whatever, get on Zoom while you're cooking. Decide that what recipe you're going to work on together. Both of you get the ingredients and go live to each other and cook together. And they can cook it at their house. You can cook it at your house. And you can do at least that right now while we can't all come together. Okay, so find a creative way to do things together. Find some creative ways to do things different so that when you are together again, you've already practiced it once and you can do it with them or for them. And, you know, let's eat around the table, whether there's 2 or 20, although supposedly we're not allowed to have as many as 20. So, you know, 2 or 10, until we can all be 20 again. My favorite Thanksgiving dinners were when I cooked for like 24 people. That was fun. The more the merrier. But right now, anything is merry. Just make it merry. Be happy and joyful and thankful. Okay? I will see you guys next time with something else new. Have a great day. Eat at the table with the family. Show love. Mwah. Ciao, ciao.